Hello everyone, I am Miss Z from the Norcross branch of the Gwinnett County Public Library. Today I am doing the December episode of Abuela's Kitchen. Now most of you know that Abuela is Spanish for grandmother. However, my first grandchild, who was 6 years old, chose to call me Nana. So today I am doing my version of Nana's Kitchen. Many times I have been asked the origin of my name, Zena, but the truth is I was born and raised in the panhandle of Northwest Florida. Some of my ancestors were some of the original settlers in Northwest Florida and had a land grant from President Benjamin Harrison. And my grandfather, maternal grandfather, was actually born in a log cabin that was built in about 1830 or so. And all of my mom's and her sisters and brothers were born in that log cabin also. And I would also like to stress the importance of remembering that although many of the settlers received the land grants and were able to farm the land, the American Indians were also displaced from those lands. So let's never forget that. Now, I was going to prepare my mother's cornbread dressing, but I've recently had some hand surgery and I'm not able to do that at this time. I would like to share a couple of other recipes with you. One is what we call cherry cheese pie. It's a very simple recipe made from Eagle brand milk and cream cheese. The recipe can be found on the internet. It's not my mom's original recipe. She just found it and decided she liked it. And the family likes it as well. Everyone always says if they're not able to come to a family dinner, bring me some of Granny's cheese pie. We always did the cherry cheese pie, but my granddaughter's favorite fruit is blueberries, so Nana decided to do a cherry cheese pie and a blueberry cheese pie. One of my favorite cakes is a Lane cake that's spelled L-A-N-E, and it was originally made by Emma Rylander Lane, who lived in Alabama. She came up with this recipe in the late 1800s and actually won a contest at a Columbus, Georgia State Fair. It's a pretty time-intensive cake to make, and I don't do it very often, of course. It does contain some bourbon and has raisins and coconut and cherries and pecans in the frosting on the cake. And with the bourbon, and I always add a little extra dash of bourbon, and those little raisins plump up and taste really, really good. One of my aunts made this cake when I was a child, and I always hung around her house so that I could have a piece. However, as it did contain bourbon, the adults said it had shiny in it and were hesitant to let children have any of the cake. For those of you who don't know what shiny is, it is a reference to moonshine, which some people did make in the backwoods. I have found this recipe in some of the books at Gwinnett County Public Library. So if you're interested in making the recipe, you can either find it in one of our library books or you can look it up on the internet. One of the specific books that I found the recipe in at the library is Classic Southern Desserts, published of course by Southern Living. Now, We all recognize that this year, 2020, has been a very, very difficult year for all of us during this time of COVID and having to cope with not seeing family, remaining apart, etc. Some of us have lost loved ones during this year, and I just want to emphasize that it is very important to recognize your family, carry on family traditions. During my growing up years, we always had a family reunion, but I am now of the older generation and would like to share my family history with my children and grandchildren. If you can, record some of your memories to share with your children, pass along family traditions such as doing the puzzle or special recipes, travels that you have done. I do want to mention that the Gwinnett County Public Library has access to Ancestry.com, which is one of the websites that we use. During the time of COVID, it has been made free to the public outside of the library. Normally, you would have to come into one of the branches to access the website. Now, I am retiring, and once I retire, I do plan to do more research on my family tree. I know very little about my father's family, as my grandparents died the year that I was born, and that is one thing that I would like to do so that I can pass that on to my children and grandchildren. Thank you for watching my video, and special thanks to my coworker Kyle for assisting me in this endeavor. It's been a little difficult for me since I am an older person and don't know all of this new technology that he does and other younger people do. Now, as we say in the South, y'all come back. Everyone take care, be safe, and peace on earth.